and vegetables. Most of you know I'm a nutrition major, and I don't get enough fruits and vegetables in my diet. I actually make a bag of vegetables on Sunday for my wife and for myself. It makes me do it. I put a bag of spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots inside there. I know a lot of you are doing that, putting it into your shakes and mixing it up, which is a great way to take it as well. You got to have fiber. Fiber is good for regularity. Fiber is good to bring out your colon. Fiber is good to absorb in the body. It's just a very critical nutrient that most Americans do not get enough of.
Our fiber is also a pre-biotic fiber, and one of the questions we get into product info is, what is that? So in your gut, we have probiotics, which are healthy bacteria that support your immune system, help your body digest nutrition, get into your body, and the prebiotics help those probiotics multiply. So one of the questions we get a lot is people who get gas their first week. Typically they'll go away in a few days, and it's usually because they've got those probiotics multiplying. Now, we have a lot of comparisons and charts in your ViSalus office. My favorite one is the breakfast chart. You hear me on product education calls say, have a shake a day for breakfast. And the reason is, even for maintenance, the reason is because about half of adults do not eat breakfast every day. And when you don't eat breakfast, what happens, and Dr. Witherly and Dr. Seidman will have you nod yes, and is you slow your metabolism. And you haven't had food since, say, 9 o'clock at night, and you don't wake to eat until noon. That's 15 hours, and your body will slow its metabolism.
So all of you have heard, my daughter is a Division I soccer player, and she was trying to lose a little bit of weight after she got done playing, and she would skip breakfast. Yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt. If you hold it close to your mouth, we'll hear it, because every time she does it, we hear her perfect, like 3 inches away.
Really? Wow, okay. Sorry about that. I was saying my daughter was a Division I soccer player and goalkeeper. She wanted to lose weight after, and she was skipping breakfast. And, you know, that's the name, break fast, fast. It's to break fast and fast overnight. So the most important meal of the day is really breakfast. When your body is in starvation mode and overnight you're technically in starvation mode, you actually start to burn proteins and save fat. It's basically a safety measure. If you were out in the desert, if you were out someplace wandering, that's what your body does. It starts to destroy the proteins and breaks that down. So it's very important to have breakfast. The only other point I wanted to make about a shake, we get a lot of questions about it, is people talk about the soy protein. And Dr. Witherly, Audrey, and I knew that that was a very sensitive issue. And most of the fruits and vegetables, all the fruits and vegetables, have something called phytonutrients in them. Phytonutrients, there's more than 140,000 compounds identified. A lot of the go and the pro and the neuro and the BiPAC, there are things that have phytonutrients in them. And so soy, the two most prominent phytonutrients are dazzine and genistein, which are phytoestrogens. So bodybuilders will look at this. My son's fraternity is using this now. There's a famous chef who came to our fraternity. I don't know if he's in the audience, but some of the bodybuilders said, I'm not going to take that, it's got soy. Well, it's basically had the phytoestrogens removed, so it's not going to hurt bodybuilders. You can still build muscle with it. And the other thing is we get a lot of questions. If you have an estrogen receptor positive cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, people get really nervous about soy. Doctor says don't take soy. And the reason is because they have the phytoestrogens. This is phytoestrogen free, so it is safe, but you should still always ask your doctor for your personal medical advice.
And I'm going to ask Dr. Witherly to tell you how we remove those isoflavones from the soy, because I get a lot of emails about some myth out on the internet about F.A.C.S.
You should see him late at night. He's picking out the isoflavone from the strong soy.
Steam distillation, you treat the soil with steam, and then the isoflavone is quite laid out, and then they sell them that way.
Protein and fiber and nutrients and calcium and everything you need for a healthy meal for a lot fewer calories than the typical American breakfast. In America, 78% of our breakfasts are high-carb things like cereal, bagels, toast, pancakes. How many of you have ever gotten hungry about an hour after eating a bowl of cereal? and sugar, and that's really not healthy for you. So if you have a shake, you're going to get a lot better nutrition for a lot fewer calories. We also have our comparison chart of our competitors. I'm not going to go through this because you've already heard me say we've got the best shake on the planet, and I think we do. Now the shake is 2 times a day, melting pounds away. Start your day to healthy day with a shake, or 2 shakes a day, melting pounds away. Now one of the things that we did is, this is my favorite chart for people who say, well, I can get all my nutrition by eating healthy, right? And the reality is it's hard to get a lot of good nutrition and eat healthy. So in your ViSalus back office, the shake and bake meal comparison shows a shake in water with a cookie, or 2 cookies versus a lean cuisine, a Subway oven roasted chicken, or a McDonald's grilled chicken. And we did not stack the deck with a pasta meal, and you're going to see you get better nutrition for fewer calories and less money. Now the transformation kit, you heard us talk about it today. It is the preferred kit of the Body by Mind champions. And I'm going to ask Dr. Seidman a little bit about omegas, because we have that one in there for a lot of reasons. Do you want to tell us why you need omegas in your diet?
Omegas, or the essential fatty acids, are critical in your diet. There's 3s, 6s, and 9s. Omega 3, 6s, and 9s. 9s are not critical because your body makes them. And for those of you, I have an hour-long lecture that I'm going to summarize in about 20 seconds. The typical American diet is from omega 3s to omega 6s is basically 1 omega 3 for every 20 omega 6. That's a typical American diet, which is terrible. The typical Mediterranean diet is 3 omega 3s to 1 omega 6. That's a great Mediterranean diet, very heart healthy, tons of data on this. Probably not thousands, but hundreds of articles showing the benefits of fish oils, of phosphatidylcholine, and phosphatidylserine that's inside there. And so most companies that give you a good essential oils give you a 3 to 1 product of omega 3s to 6. This is a typical box set. You probably saw it on dance. What's the dance show? My wife watched it. Yeah, right, exactly. So what we give you is 12 to 1. We actually give you 12 omega 3s for every 1 omega 6. And people say, why are you giving me any omega 6 if I can get it in my diet? And the answer is, I'm a big believer in botanicals. So flaxseed oil, Indian primrose oil, pumpkin seed oil are critical oils for both men and women that have very positive health benefits. There's one study that looked at over 11,000 people and looked at supplementing with just fish oils for 3 to 5 years. You can reduce mortality, that means dying, from all causes, across the board, all causes, by roughly 25 to 30% by supplementing with just fish oils, and we make it much more. We also do something very important that most people don't do because it costs more money, is we molecularly distill the oils, which means that we remove the heavy metals, the PCBs, and the mercuries that are unfortunately in our fish. And so we make this a very healthy product. It's critical for brain health, it's critical for heart health, it's critical for joint health. So it's just a wonderful product and very important.
The other thing is, how many of you in here eat salmon, mackerel, or sardines 3 to 5 times a week? Bake your omega. The transformation kit, as you know, has 60 shake meals, the assortment of health flavors, ViSalus, vitamin mineral. You heard us talk a little bit about that on stage. So I'm going to go into more detail and ask Dr. Witherly to tell us a little bit about ViSalus and how it works.
The common problem when you diet is your body doesn't like it. It gets cranky. And what it does is your BMR starts to drop, basal metabolic, your energy starts to drop. So what we try to do is find ingredients that bring it back up again. And these 4 ingredients here have clinical research on all of them, and they keep your BMR from dropping. That means you'll burn more fat. The first one, fortunately, won the award a couple years ago for the best new ingredient. Well, guess what? It's in your product. It's not an amateur. Yerba mate, or energy food, yerba mate is used as a slimming tea in all of South Africa and America. So it's a real popular. It's also a mood elevator as well. And chocolate is chocolate extract. Who likes chocolate? Well, good. Well, we have all the chocolate extract, but we don't have any fat or sugar. I know that's a problem, but all the good stuff in chocolate we put in a tablet. And finally, green tea is amazing stuff. It's a phytonutrient and it helps the body burn more fat. So all one tablet 3 times a day, that does it.
A comment about green tea. We've done some studies that make green tea, and this is where the regulatory people and where I get a little bit nervous, but there's a lot of studies that look at one of the ingredients in green tea is something called F.A.C.S. F.A.C.S is a very powerful anti-cancer compound. And so what it works is something called angiogenesis. Angiogenesis means it forms new blood cells. When you have a tumor, it basically sends out signals to make new blood cells. Green tea, F.A.C.S basically sends a message to not do that, and that's why they think it has some anti-cancer properties. I once said this in an audience, and we have some data we published in some white papers that's on the site. All of this stuff, by the way, is in your back office for you to see. And somebody might march across the stage and he said, when I heard Dr. Seidman say cure cancer, my heart dropped. I got sick and freaked out, of course. We can't cure or treat anything with these products. You should know that. It's not appropriate to say, it's not ethical to say, and it's not valid for us to say that. But there is data to support the health benefits of these types of products, and that's what I want to be the take-home message. So there's some very exciting compounds that we put aside here for me, for my family, for you, for your families, that have very strong positive benefits. And so we get it, just taking all of these things makes us, I think, in many ways, healthier in the long run. But be careful how you interpret the data that you've done.
And just for those of you who don't know, we've just recently improved our ViSalus tablets. Instead of taking 2 tablets once to twice a day, it's now 1 tablet. And what it is our F.A.C.S is a much greater concentrated extract now, so you need less of it to make it more effective. We also added in a little bit of chromium to support healthy blood sugar levels, and it's also now kosher. So you are going to notice that difference in your ViSalus. It is still caffeine-free. We still do not have anything that's going to spike blood pressure or anything like that. We'll take questions at the end. Sorry. My trip, it's my favorite product to travel with. Number one reason diet fails, people get hungry, they have cravings, they go off their diet. So we created this to help you get through that tough period of time when you start your new diet. And I'm going to have Dr. Seidman tell us a little bit about why chromium is good for your body, and then we'll have Dr. Witherly tell you a little bit about the other ingredients.
So chromium is critical for glucose metabolism. So there's a lot of data that suggests that if you have chromium in your diet, you can metabolize better and it may help you lose weight. So that's the logic of chromium. L-carnitine is something that's very important. It's also in the patented anti-age energy formula, which we'll talk about in a little bit, which actually helps the mitochondrial work more efficiently. So it upregulates mitochondrial function. The carnitine that you get is something that comes actually from meat or from broccoli. You have to grind up the equivalent of about 20 pounds of broccoli for 3 steaks for what you get to buy back. But there's carnitine in here, and I'm going to have Dr. Witherly talk about Garcinia cambogia theanine.
Garcinia is a plant extract that comes from India, and what it does in the body is it stops the conversion of sugar into fat when ingested. It also has another excellent benefit. It increases serotonin naturally, so it makes you feel better. Another ingredient in this product, which I really like, is my favorite ingredient of all time. See, if you use a lot of stuff, I use L.B. in everything, in absolutely everything. It is an ingredient from green tea that changes your brain waves in 45 minutes. You go, whoa! It changes it from alpha to beta, so it calms your brain in about 45 minutes. When you feel calm, you feel less irritated, and you eat less. So this is a really great